welcome to the Explainer. All right, today we are stepping into the heat. We're going to decode the science behind using a sauna, but we're going way beyond just relaxation. I'm going to give you the exact evidence-based protocols to turn a simple sweat session into an incredibly powerful tool for your health.
So, let's just kick things off with one number that really puts all of this into perspective: 70%. Now, what on earth could that number possibly mean?
Well, it comes from a massive study out of Finland where they followed thousands of men for over 2 decades. And what they found was just, wow, frequent sauna users had up to a 70% drop in their risk of dying from a heart-related event. And get this, it was also linked to a 40% reduction in dying from any cause. That is just a staggering statistic.
So, the big question is, how do you actually harness that power for yourself? Well, that's what this explainer is all about. We're going to start with the science, the why behind it all. Then we'll dive into specific, actionable protocols for your goals, a guide for your very first session, some critical safety rules you just can't ignore, and finally, we'll wrap up with some pro tips to really maximize your results.
Okay, let's get right into it. How is it possible that just sitting in a hot room can create such incredible health benefits? I promise you, the answer goes way beyond just feeling relaxed.
The whole thing really boils down to this cool scientific principle called hormesis. Now, the easiest way to think about it is like exercise, but for your cells. That heat from the sauna, it's a mild, tolerable stress. It doesn't actually hurt you, but it sends a powerful signal to your body to adapt, forcing all your internal systems to get stronger, more resilient, and way more efficient.
And here's why it's so amazing for your heart. Your body's reaction to that intense heat, it actually mimics a moderate workout. Your heart rate can climb up to, say, 100, even 150 beats per minute. Your blood vessels open up to rush blood to your skin to cool you down, and your overall cardiac output just surges. You're basically getting a passive cardio training session without even moving. Now, here's where things get really practical, because this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of activity. By being strategic, by adjusting the temperature, the duration, and how often you go, you can actually target different health outcomes. So let's break down 3 of the key evidence-based protocols. So as you can see right here, for heart health, the name of the game is consistency. We're talking 4 to 7 sessions a week for up to 20 minutes each time. For general wellness and just boosting your mood, the target is about an hour total per week, maybe split up into 2 or 3 longer sessions. But then, for a big pulse of growth hormone, which is amazing for muscle repair and metabolism, the whole protocol shifts. It's more intense, but way less frequent. A couple of 30-minute sessions with cool-down breaks in between, and you only do that maybe once a week. And for anyone out there looking to really maximize those metabolic effects, experts like the neuroscientist Andrew Huberman suggest adding another layer to this: deliberate cold exposure. So think about taking a cold shower or even a quick cold plunge during your cool-down breaks. That hot-cold contrast can really amplify the benefits. Okay, so what if this all sounds great, but you're a complete beginner? Where do you even start? Well, getting that first session right is key. So let's just walk through a simple guide to make sure you do it safely and effectively. Think of this as your foundational checklist. First off, hydration is totally non-negotiable. A quick rinse beforehand is great for your skin. Setting a timer just keeps you honest. But the most important rule of all, you have to listen to your body. If you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or just unwell, your session is over, period. And afterwards, cool down slowly and make sure you replenish all those fluids and electrolytes you just sweated out. And it is absolutely crucial that you progress gradually. Don't try to be a hero on day 1. As a beginner, for that first month, just aim for 1 or 2 sessions a week and only for about 5 to 10 minutes. And here's a huge pro tip. Sit on the lower benches. It's significantly cooler down there. Then, as you get more experienced, you can start building up to more frequent, longer sessions on those hotter upper benches.
All right, we need to pause here for a second because this part is incredibly important. While saunas are so beneficial for most of us, they are absolutely not for everyone. Understanding the risks is key to using this powerful tool safely.
So, who exactly needs to be careful, or who should maybe avoid saunas altogether? Well, the list is actually very specific. So, the list of absolute don'ts is pretty clear. Pregnant women should avoid saunas because of the risk of overheating. Anyone with unstable heart conditions, like a recent heart attack or uncontrolled high blood pressure, should not be using a sauna. Same deal if you have a fever. And here is a very, very firm rule. Never, ever combine sauna use with alcohol. It's just incredibly dangerous and dramatically increases your risk of dehydration and arrhythmia.
And just one more point of caution. For men who are actively trying to conceive, it's worth being aware that frequent, intense heat exposure can temporarily reduce sperm count and motility. Now, the good news is studies show this effect is fully reversible after about 2 months of stopping sauna use. So, just something to keep in mind.
Okay, so once you've got the basics down, you're using the sauna safely, you're being consistent, there are a few pro tips that can really elevate your practice and help you get even more out of every single session.
We've mentioned hydration a few times, but let's get really specific. A solid rule of thumb is to drink at least 16 ounces, that's about half a liter, of water for every 10 minutes you spend in the sauna. This isn't just about sipping a little water, it's about actively replacing what your body is losing.
And you know, simple adjustments can make a really big difference. Timing your session for the afternoon or evening can actually improve your sleep quality. If that growth hormone release is your goal, try using the sauna in a semi-fasted state. And of course, always respect the etiquette, sit on a towel, and above all, respect your own body. If you feel fatigued, take a rest day.
So let's circle back to that big question. Can this ancient practice really improve your long-term health? The science is incredibly clear. Yes. The sauna is so much more than a luxury. It's a powerful tool that you can dose precisely for specific benefits. And with these protocols, you now have the blueprint to use heat strategically and unlock its full potential. Thanks for joining this explainer.